Hello, we're team number 9. It's Lise, Michaela, Dan, and me. And we got a diabetes challenge from Daniel Witte to keep the prevalence of diabetes in Denmark by 2025 on the level of 2010. So we know that diabetes prevalence is increasing all over the world, in Denmark as well, especially for older people. And there are only 2 ways to reduce diabetes prevalence. It's to reduce the incidence of diabetes or treat or manage diabetes somehow. There are no other way. And our creative solution was inspired by Isaac Newton, who managed to decompose a white light into a multiple color spectrum. And we believe that diabetes mellitus is a complex disease, but the solution can be decomposed into prediction, prevention, and structural intervention. What do we mean by prediction? We are simply going to screen the whole population of Denmark with multiple omics. And why it should work? Why it should work? Because we think there is a lot of evidence that combining multiple omics and applying neural networks analysis boosts the predictive power, so it will work. Once we identified individuals at risk, we are going to apply prevention program on them. By prevention program, we mean educational program at school, work, etc. And we can treat individuals at risk, for example, by the Holbeck approach, what Jens Christian Holm presented. Third idea is a structural intervention. We propose to apply control of sugar intake. We know that it worked in Mexico, where they introduced increase of soda tax. And it led to the situation when people drank more water than soda. And second is stimulate exercise in the population. We know that in Cuba, when they had a collapse of public transport, people were bicycling all the time, and the body weight of the whole population decreased, so it will work. How practically we will implement it? So we are going to screen the whole population of Denmark with omics, and it's partly implemented because all newborns in Denmark give their blood samples. If these blood samples, for some reason, do not cover the whole population, we are going to stimulate people to come and give us their blood samples. So we initiate mass media campaign, we collect blood samples via general practitioner visit, we screen people, we come and screen people at school, work, home, etc. So we identify risk group, we identify individuals at risk, and we are going to intervene this risk group. We are going to introduce free exercise, free diabetes mellitus education. We are going to apply a Holbeck approach all over Denmark. Now we are checking if the prevalence decreased. If it has not decreased, then we apply the final punch, which is a structural intervention. We want to avoid it a priori because it can lead potentially to some dramatic societal changes. But now, if the prevalence does not decrease, structural intervention is the only way. And we are going to implement a reduction of, we want to reduce car usage. We want to implement free bicycles. We increase prices for sugar and decrease prices for vegetables and fruits. Cost effectiveness. Prediction program is quite cost efficient because the blood samples, they do exist, because all newborns, they give blood samples. You only need to sequence them. Sequencing is quite expensive, so multi-omics score, we estimated that multi-omics score will cost $3,500 per individual. Prevention program is the cheapest. Prevention program has been proven to be the cheapest and very efficient. Diabetes education, we have a lot of evidence showing that diabetes education is very cost efficient. Treating obesity using Holbeck approach, it's just $300 per individual a year. It's very cheap. Structural intervention. If we allow individuals to exercise, all employed people in Denmark to exercise for free twice a week, 1 hour, it will be like $3,000 per individual a year, quite expensive, comparable with omics score. On the other hand, when we increase prices for sugar and fat, it will bring, of course, additional income to the budget of the country, and in parallel, we decrease the healthcare cost because the population becomes progressively more and more healthy. Caveats and potential limitations. So prediction, of course, might be poor. There is no guarantee. It's very expensive, and screening is not a treatment. Prevention. Prevention relies on people motivations. It's unpredictable. It concentrates only on risk group. So potentially, if the prediction fails, we do not cover undiagnosed risk individuals. And prevention program can only postpone the onset of diabetes. You cannot escape the disease. Structural intervention. Researchers are not in control. It's purely political, economical, cultural phenomenon. Structural intervention might lead to dramatic societal changes, which potentially can be harmful. Why we think that our program is perspective? Because a similar program has been already implemented on a population scale in the US, and the Centers for Disease and Control and Prevention in the US, they report actually decrease of incidence of diabetes after the program has been implemented. But it needs a state regulation, so researchers are not in control. On the other hand, our program, it has a beneficial effect for other diseases. So it's not only diabetes. It can be applied for other diseases. And we thank Daniel Witte for formulating the challenge, the organizers of Diabetes Challenge, and Isaac Newton for inspiring ideas. It's our team, Lise, Michaela, Dan, and me. Thank you for your attention.